Picture this. You've been doing everything right. Every month, a chunk of your paycheck goes straight into savings. You don't splurge. You don't go crazy with spending. You're responsible, disciplined, proud of yourself, honestly. But then you do the math. You open your savings account, you look at the number, and something feels off. Because after months of doing the right thing, the balance just isn't moving the way you expected. And quietly, in the back of your mind, you start wondering, is saving money actually doing anything? Here's the uncomfortable truth. For most people, saving money is not building wealth. It's just delaying spending. And once I understood that, everything changed. My name is Jack, and I spend way too much time thinking about money so you don't have to. If this video makes you think differently about your finances, hit subscribe and drop a thumbs up. It genuinely helps. Okay, let's get into it. Here's the thing: most personal finance advice gets completely wrong. It treats saving like the destination, like if you just save enough, eventually wealth appears. But saving is not the destination. Saving is the launch pad. And a launch pad that never launches anything is just concrete. Let me show you what I mean with simple math. Say you save $500 per month. Solid. Better than most. You stick that money in a regular savings account earning around 1% interest. After 5 years, you've saved $30,000. With interest, maybe $30,700. Now that's not nothing, but it's also not life-changing. Here's what most people don't realize. Inflation is currently running around 3% per year, which means your money sitting in savings is actually losing purchasing power every single year. You're saving, but in real terms, you're slowly going backwards. And this is where it gets really interesting, because the people quietly building real wealth aren't saving more than you. They're doing something different with the same money. Let's talk about what actually builds wealth. The moment you stop thinking of your money as something to protect and start thinking of it as something to deploy, everything shifts. Because money has one job: to work. And a savings account is basically putting your money in a room, locking the door, and wondering why it isn't doing anything. Investing is giving your money a job. Historically, the S&P 500 has returned around 10% annually on average over long periods. Let's run the same numbers. $500 per month invested instead of saved. Same 5 years. At 10% average annual returns, you're looking at roughly $38,000 to $39,000. That's nearly $8,000 more from the exact same monthly amount. But here's the part that really matters. That's only 5 years. Keep going another 5, and compounding starts doing something almost unfair. Now you might be thinking, okay, Jack, but investing feels risky. What if the market crashes? What if I lose everything? Totally valid concern. And here's how I think about it. Saving money is like keeping your car parked in a garage. It's safe. Nothing bad happens to it. But it's also not going anywhere. Investing is taking the car out on the road. Yes, there's some risk, but the car is doing what it was built to do. And here's what most people don't realize about market risk. Time eliminates most of it. The S&P 500 has never delivered negative returns over any 20-year period in history. Never. Markets crash, yes, they dropped 30% in 2020. They dropped nearly 50% in 2008. But they recovered. Every single time. And investors who stayed in the market didn't just recover. They came out ahead. The real risk isn't investing. The real risk is waiting. So here's the practical roadmap. 3 steps. Simple. Step 1. Keep a safety net in savings. 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This money stays in cash. It is not for investing. It is your financial fire extinguisher. You hope you never need it, but it needs to exist. Step 2. Every dollar beyond that safety net needs a job. Open a brokerage account. Start with something simple, a broad market index fund. You're not picking stocks. You're not day trading. You're buying a tiny piece of hundreds of companies at once. Low cost, diversified, proven. Let me leave you with this. 5 years from now is arriving whether you're ready or not. The question is what your money will have been doing during those 5 years. Sitting in savings, slowly losing value, or quietly compounding, building momentum you'll barely believe when you look back. Saving money keeps you safe. Investing money changes your life. So stop treating your savings account like the finish line. It was always just the starting block. If this shifted how you think about money, subscribe. And tell me in the comments, are you still mostly saving or have you started investing? Because that one transition is honestly where everything begins.